Okay, I just had a random flashback to this crazy night when I was in Tonga. So me and the gang, we were in the farm in the uta. I was sleeping there for a whole week straight because I was just so excited. My first time arriving in Tonga. I'm just like, no, I don't want to go to the village. I want to stay in the bush. I want to eat puwaka. I want to like be one with the land and sky. Anyway, so my friends were walking around picking out mushrooms from all this cow shit, and I was like, what the fuck are you guys doing? And they're like, now, after stopping at every single land and checking the shit of every single cow on the side of the road, these guys were so happy. They finally had a whole bowl full of mushrooms. And they're like, okay, let's go back to the hut and get these ready. I'm like, what do you mean get those ready? I'm not eating anything that was grown in shit. But I'm not God, so I was like, okay, trust the process. But what I wanted to do was fry up some onions and garlic, throw the mushrooms in, make some pasta, carbonara, and make pasta for these guys. Little guy just did a poopy. So we get back to the hut. They start washing these mushrooms of all the cow shit, starting to look real nice. And then they start boiling water over the fire. And they chuck the mushrooms in the hot water with sugar. I'm like, what the fuck? You making tea? You're making mushroom tea? That's disgusting. By this time, the sun has already long gone down. All of, the family, the father of my daughter's father is sleeping. It's just me and the boys. And they're all like offering me this cup of mushroom tea. And I'm like, nah, sole, usi. I do not want to drink mushroom tea. That's so disgusting. Like, I'll have a Lipton tea, but not a fucking mushroom tea. Anyways, they said to me, look, this is a delicacy, basically, in their own language. This very important, drink it, inu, otherwise corvi. I'm like, oh, it's like, I don't want to disrespect your country, fine. You went through all the effort of picking each mushroom one by one from one cow shit. Along the way, 100 cows later, and now you're making this cup of tea. So, don't want to disrespect you guys. So I took the tea, I drank it, just, tried to hold my nose and just drink it all. And everyone's just staring at me like, what the fuck are you guys looking at? Like, I'm like, yeah, sai apito, malo. And then I just started laughing. Because, I was looking at them and it was dark, but at the same time, I was looking at my ex and one of his eyes was it looked like it was big. And I was like, what the fuck? And then I looked at all of them and they were all laughing. And they were all drinking the tea as well. And we were all looking at each other in a circle. And what I could see is parts of their face were zooming in and out. One of them had a big lip, the other one had a big eye, and I was like, holy shit, what the fuck is happening? And they were all laughing, and they're like, this is a magic, it's a magic, it's like a weed, it's make you high, blah, blah. I was like, what the fuck, you guys look like aliens. And the worst part is, I didn't even know to expect that. So I had no idea going in, drinking this tea, that it was going to make me high. And I didn't know that was a magic mushroom. Of course, my whole life I've heard about magic mushrooms, but I didn't know that was a magic mushroom, and that's what they gave me. And I drank that whole fucking cup. So I was tripping out, and I was getting scared, and everyone was just laughing their asses off because I was low-key freaking the fuck out because they all looked like aliens and monsters. And I was new to the country. I didn't even know what the fuck to do. So I stood up, and I tried to walk to the car. And as I was walking to the car, it looked like the car was the size of an ant. And then all of a sudden it was like a truck. And then it was like an ant. And all the leaves on the trees had eyes. And I was just like, oh my God, I am fucked. This is some scary shit. So in my mind, I was like, Jamie, calm the fuck down. You don't want these guys to know that you're literally freaking out because they're all having fun. Don't want to be the party pooper and go cry about how fucking high you are. So I was like, calm down. And I stood at the road where the car was. And then Offa came to check on me and all the boys were still back in the hut. And he's like, oh, so are you okay? And I was just so pissed off because he didn't tell me that it was fucking gonna make me high. And I was standing there in silence. He's like, Jamie, are you okay? And I was like, who's Jamie? And I was just like, nah, fuck you, motherfucker. I'm gonna get you back. And I was just pretending to be possessed. And he's like, stop it. It's not funny. And I was like, no, really, who's Jamie? My name's Sarah. Fefe Hake. So nice to meet you. And he was like, his face looked like he was like seen a ghost. And you have to remember that he was high as well. So I thought like he was going to play along with it. And I was like, you look really nice. I was like, you know, I'm just walking around at night. And he's like, Jamie, you're not funny. And I was like, I told you, Jamie's dead. And he started screaming, Moana, Moana. And Moana is his dad. So he started calling his dad, and his dad came running through the bush with a flashlight, pointing in my eyes, talking in Tongan. At this stage, I was new to Tonga, so I didn't even understand Tongan. And they were both talking, and all I could hear was, Te volo, te volo, te volo. And I was like, what the fuck is a te volo? So anyways, now that the father was involved, I didn't feel confident being my little possessed self. So I was just like, okay, shit, I better turn it down because Off is high as fuck, obviously, and scared as fuck. And now his dad's here. And I said to Moana, it's okay. I'm just loyero. I was joking. And he's like, no, te volo. And he looked in my eyes again with the torch. And then he just said something in Tongan. And then everyone came and got me. And they took me by the arms into the hut. They tied me up. And then one of them was running around picking leaves off a tree, chewing it and spitting it all over me. And I was like, what the fuck's going on? And I was still high and I was starting to get scared. He's like, man, if you're lying, I feel sorry for you. And I was like, what the fuck are you guys doing? He's like, they're going to kill you. They're going to kill you. And I was like, oh shit. And I was like, I was joking. I'm fine. He's like, they're going to kill you. And because he was high, I was fucking high. Everyone there was fucking high. I didn't know what the fuck to believe. These motherfuckers don't even believe me. They're not fucking listening. So when they started doing some chanting shit, like they were all saying all of this stuff, one of them was spitting those leaves on me, blah, blah, blah. They were all like getting so involved thinking that I was a demon. I guess they were trying to get the demon out of the Te Volo or whatever. So when they were doing that, I was just like, and I was just like, I was like, oh my God. And Moana was like starting to chant like really hard, even harder, like Te Volo alo, Te Volo alo. And I was like just trying my best not to laugh, and I was going crazy, like being all possessed and shit. And then I just looked at Offa because he looked genuinely concerned, like it wasn't funny to any of these people. And then I looked at Offa and I was like, and he started laughing, and then I started laughing, and we all started laughing. He's like, you're a fucking dickhead. And I was like, oh, that's what you get. And then we all apologized to the dad, and the dad got so fucking angry, he drove away and left us all in the bush. So the next day, the father came back with the mum, and the father had a big meeting with all of us. And I was just like, look, I'm really sorry. In Australia, we laugh about this kind of shit. Like, we always try and prank and scare each other. I did not realize that Offa was going to get scared, that the father was going to get scared. And I was like, Moana, I'm really sorry. I'm not possessed. I'm not a Te Volo. And you are so brave. You came, you took me, you tied me up, you forced everyone to fucking spit all that shit on me. You know, anyone else would have just run if that's what they believe. Because, you know, a Te Volo is a real thing in Tonga and people take it very seriously. So, yeah, don't ever do that if you go to Tonga. Don't pretend to be possessed because it's not funny. Should have taken you there, you little Te Volo. You look like a lizard.